Now, I'm aware it's been a hot minute. It's been, I don't know, like a month. I could say that I've been working on something splendid, spectacular, to treat you all. I really haven't. I just haven't been asked. It was my first sort of busy week at work, and then I just couldn't be asked for the next 2 weeks afterwards. So I'm sorry about that. But today I'm back, and we're going to be looking at why Dead by Daylight is a lot better than Friday the 13th. So grab a hold of your loved ones and grab a hold of your arse cheeks, because welcome to the Halloween special video, even though it's not really too Halloweeny, but here we go. I think that one of the first things that Dead by Daylight succeeds in is that it has a nice variety of maps. Friday the 13th, it has all these different campgrounds that you go to. Wow. Dead by Daylight has these weird little structured maps. It has a jigsaw map. It has this one here, in which this weird pillar thingy is in the middle, and I don't know what it's of, or what it's for, and what it's from. So, but it's still great design. It's still present. And, I'm not going to diss Friday the 13th, because I will say its maps are nicely designed, and they're quite big and expansive. But it's nice to get a bit of variety that isn't just, we're in a campground, we're all dudes chilling, and then Big Man Jason comes along, and we all die. However, what I would say Friday the 13th excels in the way its maps work is that it's a bit more detailed. Even though I would say the graphics are possibly a bit worse for characters and stuff, its structures and the lighting of these structures is done to a T, and it does add this little creepy horror effect to it that you don't really get in Dead by Daylight, for example. And I would say on Dead by Daylight there are only a few maps that have the same amount of detail that Friday the 13th has. But the main way in which Friday the 13th fails massively is that it just doesn't work very well. It's broken, alright? It's completely broken. Well, not completely. You could still play it. It just doesn't work as well as Dead by Daylight. And even sort of the scaling between the survivors and the killer, it's completely off balance and fucked, alright? There's off balance, and then there's taking it to the next level, in which God would have to come down and go, no, that is not acceptable. Stop it. Now, in Dead by Daylight, the killer, we may always say there's a particular killer that's overpowered, like the Wraith, for example. Me and my friends personally, we hate the Wraith. The Wraith is a disgusting abomination that as soon as we realise that that is the killer, we know that we're either in for a fun game or a terrible game, alright? And that's why we hate it so much, because the Wraith is bad for me and the others. But comparing the Wraith to Jason in Friday the 13th, Jason is unspeakable, alright? At least the killers in Dead by Daylight, you are fully aware you do not have a fighting chance against them, and all you are trying to do is just avoid them, sneak, and run away from them. And running away from them is completely possible in Dead by Daylight. Friday the 13th, no. You cannot escape Jason for your life, because the devs went, you know what, we're going to give him an ability that lets him warp in front or close to the person that he is hunting. And also, he's just really quick. So it's a bit of a win-win situation there. Well, not really win-win, it's a giant fucking loss. I mean, just look at this, right? Jason, he has the 4 abilities in the corner. He has a map. He has, like, a sick dog sense. Makes him like a dash hound or bloodhound or whatever. He then has his little warp ability to the left. And then the top one, Stalk, which, I won't lie, I don't know how to use Stalk, but I'm guessing when you figure it out, it is overpowered more than likely, because that's what Jason does. He also gets these little blips on the map that are sounds of the survivors. So if they're sprinting, he can hear them sprinting, so he just goes towards that sound and finds them straight away. He just knows where you are all the time, which just sort of ruins the fun instead of him having to go and do his exploration and try and find the survivors. However, though, with the size of the maps being quite big compared to Dead by Daylight, which are nicely condensed so the killer is able to find these people, Jason sort of needs this for there to actually be gameplay of him hunting down survivors. But in turn, it just completely ruins the game, not only for the survivors, but in some ways for the killer as well, because they don't have any form of challenge ahead of them. All they have to do is just go swing their hatchet, machete, or whatever they have at the survivors, and boom, they win. And it's not like they have to worry so much, because Jason is, near impossible to kill. Like, sure, I got quite damaged when playing the game, but I didn't die. Alright? So, and either way, it's a win-win situation. All he needs to do is just kill about one person, and then that's just a win for Jason. If the others get away, it doesn't matter. So what's the point in the game? However, though, I can't lie, Jason be looking sexy as fuck without his mask on, like, chee! Now, I just want to have a quick moment to talk about the character models / designs. Overall, I would have to say Dead by Daylight also wins this. By a long stretch, alright? It has iconic characters that have come in through DLC, its own made-up characters, and also, it has a good set of customization for them, and they don't look like shit. Unlike my main boy Sheldon in Friday the 13th coming around that corner and being like, "What the hell?" However, though, with all the sort of shitting I've done on Friday the 13th, I do have to give it a bit of props for variety. Yes, Dead by Daylight does have variety in the way you could pick whatever survivor you want to be, and also you're not just stuck to having Jason as the killer. But, every game, you know what you're doing. You're either going around stopping the survivors from fixing generators and escaping, or you're a survivor going around and fixing generators and trying to escape and not die to the hands of the killer. While on Friday the 13th, it gives you a bit of variety on what you can do. For instance, you can call the police, you can fix a car up and drive away in it, or you can fix a boat and escape through that method. It just adds that little extra level of variety, and also the whole part of having to go around scavenge for these parts to essentially escape, and it's something that I quite like, and I would love to see it a little bit more in Dead by Daylight. For example, let's take the method of escaping on Friday the 13th with the car, alright? To get the car running, you need a battery, you need fuel, and you need a key, all of which you have to find throughout the map. Sometimes you can do it within seconds. Other times, you could be looking for a can of fuel for the whole game, and then you'll find it, and Jason will sneak up behind you and go with his machete and kill you dead. But it does add a bit of that variety what I was on about. While Dead by Daylight, you just sort of run around, fix the generators, go, yep, doors open, pull the lever, and run away. Or, if everyone's dead, you just go, yep, there's the hatch, jump in it, and then bish bash bosh, game over. But, I don't know, it's just something I would love to see more. They're not too far apart from one another, it's just, I don't know, it just adds a bit more entertainment, a bit more of variety, but it just keeps the game a bit more fresh. So imagine if in Dead by Daylight, you had to go around, get these parts, fix up a car. It might be a bit difficult to do because, you know, someone could just say, oh, well, the killer can just camp it. But Jason could just camp the car. But it doesn't happen because there's all these other little things going on. So what if they did Dead by Daylight in some similar fashion, but they just figured out how to work way around it? I don't know. I'm not an expert on these game design thingamybobs, but, you know, it would be a nice little variety. Also, I'd like to take a moment to just appreciate that the fact this person just drove off without us. That was kind of them. Also, a little bit of a fun side story. The person actually came back and let me in the car, which I was hashtag praise Jesus grateful for. Blessed our Lord and Saviour. But turns out, even if you did escape in the car, you wouldn't have made it very far, considering the car just fucking drove itself into a ditch not long after. So great game design, Friday the 13th devs. Well done. Now, as a figure in the media, even if that figure is very, very small, I am not supposed to have biased opinions, and I'm meant to openly accept everything as they come. But I gotta say, Dead by Daylight's better. It's way better than Friday the 13th. I mean, good try, Friday the 13th, but you know, this other game, this little masterpiece that me and my friends enjoy a lot. It's beating you, all right. It's beating you hard. It's beating you good, and I think you either need to step up your game tremendously, or just try again with something else. Maybe not just basing it around fucking Jason constantly, because it's a bit boring. Just a man in a hockey mask. At least we can have a fucking pig man from Saw put traps on our heads and we have to work to get them off. I don't have footage of that, by the way. Haven't ran into him yet. I don't want to. I can't be asked to convert it. So yeah. Now you may be saying, because it seems like a bit of the logical end point of the video, these may have been two spooky games, but it didn't really seem too spooky for a Halloween thing. Well, I won't lie to you. I didn't have much footage to work with here, because I filmed them 2 nights ago, and with the way I filmed them, in which I have to take Xbox clips, I may or may not have forgotten to do that every so often. Because I was just enjoying the games a little too much. So yeah, we have that. But I thought I'd treat you a little bit at the end here with a few saucy clips about me talking and actual gameplay sound. And I'll catch you in a tiny bit at the end.
Oh fuck! Who is that? Why won't you fucking die?
Wowee! Another Halloween video over, even though this is just the first one, but another Halloween video over and done with. I would like to do more videos on Dead by Daylight and possibly Friday the 13th. Well, actually, I'm definitely wanting to do a video on Friday the 13th, but with the way it works, I'll have to see how I can actually record it, because it might even be I'll have to use some form of different method. But I'll let you. I'll let you try and figure out what that's going to be, because hopefully that would be a sweet one. I want to hopefully make a Red Dead 2 video. I have an idea for what I want to do, and I should be able to do that at some point from now on. So I might get that done for next week, or you may not see me again for another month. The Outer Worlds. I've played a little bit of that. I'm enjoying that quite a lot. I might do something on there. And oh yes, the next, well, maybe not the next video, but a definite video that will be coming out is a video on a game called Bolt. Remember that little film from a couple of years ago called Bolt, with that dog who left that little girl, and since he'd been trapped in this movie set thingamy-bob, he thought he was almighty and all-powerful. Well, there's a game of him, and it came out for free last month, and I want to play it. So you have that to look forward to as well. But thank you for watching. Do a subscribe, a like, a comment, whatever, and leave me in peace now. Please, leave me in peace. I'm struggling here, alright? I just want to be peaceful. You're not! Sorry. Just get emotional sometimes.